Pet Sematary is proof that women can direct the fuck out of a horror movie. Mary Lambert directed both of the original Pet Sematary movies, and Madonna's Like a Prayer video with the burning crosses in the background caused big controversy. Pet Sematary is as rock and roll as a movie can be without being a musical. The Ramones wrote the theme song, and I can tell they read the book too. You know, I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery. Don't want to live my life again. But it's a total banger. I love it when a director gets like a cool, perfectly timed credit at the end of a movie. Like Rachel slashes Lewis and he screams, and then it just goes to black and it says a Mary Lambert film, and then the Ramones song starts playing. And I'm just like, Mary, you fucking rock star. I had to say it. Although Sheena is a punk rocker, did distract the truck driver enough to kill the baby, but I can get pretty caught up in that song too. The acting in the movie is superb. Even like the little kids and I mean, especially the men, they show like extraordinary emotional depth. Only a woman could have directed men like this. Like Lewis had to be this emotionally giving father, and Judd, played by Herman Munster, Fred Gwynn, as a man who would openly cry at feeling responsible for Gage's death. And the little girl as the anxious psychic, I feel so bad for her. And Gage has got to be one of the most terrifying horror movie monsters of all time. Children are terrifying. Their laughter is terrifying in the right context. I think there's a prequel. I haven't seen it yet. Rachel spends a lot of the time in the movie being a victim until the end when she's like racing home to save Lewis. But her Zelda's dead speech gives her a really complex reason to be a victim and remain functional in real life. Mary Lambert understood that. Lewis is the epitome of a good husband and father, total fantasy, what most women seek in men. Lewis keeps using the evil power of the Micmac burial grounds because he thinks it's the right thing to do, which is the core of his identity. I mean, how many doctors wish they could bring people back to life? Stephen King writes physical spaces as conscious entities with usually malevolent psychic powers. In the book version of The Shining, the hotel was built on a native burial ground too. That would piss off the spirits. In the Pet Sematary book, Judd explains how the Micmac tribe would bury their fallen warriors there, and the ground eventually went sour. What's that origin story? Again, it may be in the prequels that just came out. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it yet. Perhaps the ground was initially used to raise plague victims from the dead. Their illness healed, and possibly children the most. When the ground became soaked with the blood of violence from war, the ground went sour. The Micmac abandoned the ground, but somehow locals found it again and discovered its power. The ground itself is conscious, and it can control whoever is buried there. Gage knew exactly where Daddy kept his scalpel. I love the last shot with Rachel's mutilated face and Lewis makes out with her as like brown liquid is squirting out of her eye socket and like gets in his mouth and stuff. And she picks up that knife and cuts to black and Lewis screams, and a Mary Lambert film. It's like signing her name to the most gruesome shot in the movie. Mary, you are a rock star. So if you would like to see me explain another movie, I've got plenty of vampire movies on my plate right now. Something other than vampires would be great. So if you enjoyed this one, also you know, I'm kind of doing this for tips until I can actually make money off of TikTok. So here's my Venmo and Cash App, which are also in my bio. Send me a tip because I am in poverty and I work really hard on these videos, which I hope you enjoy. See you later.